In the quiet town of Haverfordwest, Wales, two little girls walked the halls of their school in perfect synchronization. They spoke to no one, they looked at no one. But if you listen closely, you might hear them whispering to each other. Fast, strange, like their own secret language. Their names were June and Jennifer Gibbons, identical twins. And what happened between them has haunted psychologists, journalists, and paranormal investigators for over 40 years. This is the terrifying true story of the Silent Twins. Welcome to Dark Whispers, where fear finds its voice. If you love to listen to paranormal investigations, creepypastas, and unsolved mysteries, do surely subscribe and hit the bell icon for more notifications. And if you love to listen to any particular story, do hit us back in the comments. And without any further ado, let's get back to our story. June and Jennifer were born in 1963 to Caribbean immigrants who had moved to the United Kingdom in search of a better life. From the outside, they were like any other children, but from the very beginning, something was off. Even as toddlers, they spoke in a strange dialect no one else could understand, a sped-up mix of Barbadian Creole and invented words. They refused to make eye contact with others. They avoided all interaction outside their twin bubble. Doctors called it selective mutism, but it was far more than that. These girls had created a world entirely of their own, sealed off from reality. Teachers were disturbed by their behavior. The twins sat alone in class, practically motionless. They moved identically, brushing their hair at the same time, blinking in sync, and mirroring every single moment. When separated, they would freeze. One time, they became completely unresponsive for hours after being placed in different classrooms. They were quite literally unable to function and placed apart. Psychologists tried to intervene, but every test failed. It was as if they were tethered by something invisible and unnatural. They didn't just finish each other's sentences, they shared each other's minds. As they grew into adolescence, the twins retreated further into isolation. They locked themselves in their bedroom and wrote obsessively. Hundreds of pages, dark, violent stories, tales of betrayal, obsession, cruelty. They self-published a few through mail order. One featured a doctor who hypnotizes patients into committing brutal crimes. Another ended in a child's murder. But it didn't stop at fiction. The stories gave way to their actions. At 19, June and Jennifer turned to arsoning. They set fire to a tractor dealership and then a department store. They were arrested and convicted. But what happened next would become a nightmare the system never saw coming. Rather than prison, the twins were sent to Bradmore Hospital, an infamous high-security psychiatric facility, a place for the criminally insane. They would remain there for about 11 years. At Bradmore, the twins deteriorated. Doped with heavy tranquilizers, they drifted through the halls like ghosts. But the staff noticed something darker. Jennifer seemed to dominate June. When Jennifer entered a room, June would stiffen, like prey sensing a predator. Their diaries revealed a terrifying truth. In their diary, it was written, "We are both holding each other back. We have made a pact. One of us must die." June wrote, "She is my shadow. Without her, I'm nothing. Without me, she must die." Jennifer in turn wrote, "We have become fatal enemies. I feel her thoughts. I know her every move. I want to kill her. Yet, I don't want to live without her." This wasn't love. It was a psychic war, a psychological possession, and it was escalating. In 1993, doctors decided to move the girls to a lower security facility. On the day of the transfer, Jennifer leaned into June's ear and whispered, "Now, it's happening." Just hours later, Jennifer collapsed. By the time they reached the new facility, she was dead. The cause? Acute myocarditis, sudden inflammation of the heart. There were no prior symptoms, no trauma, no drugs. Doctors had no explanation. She simply died. June's response stunned everyone. She spoke clearly, calmly, not just to the doctors, but to the media, to the strangers, to the world. As if the death of her twin had released her from a prison. As if Jennifer's death was always part of the plan. She later told a journalist, "We had a deal. One had to die. It was the only way the other could live." Today, June Gibbons lives quietly in the UK. She never married, never had children. She writes, she paints, she speaks. But something in her gaze remains unhaunted. As for Jennifer, she was buried in the West Wales, her headstone etched with a chilling message. "We were once two. We two made one." Was it a psychotic bond? A twin telepathy gone mad? Or something darker? Something that fed on their silence and only left when one soul was taken? In the end, no one truly knows what passed between the June and Jennifer Gibbons, except maybe June does. This has been Dark Whispers, where truth is stranger than fiction, and silence is never empty. If you haven't subscribed to Dark Whispers till now, please go ahead and do it. Until next time, sleep lightly.